Now on CoastTV News.
Safer streets, new crosswalks are just part of the pilot program that is trying to change things in Rehoboth Beach.
Strengthening childcare, the new bills that would hold facilities in Delaware more accountable to keep young children safe.
One stretch of Route 1 getting attention from a DelDOT workshop tonight. The different changes bikers could see near Bethany Beach.
An endangered whale spotted on the coast again. What environmentalists are asking of you.
And right now, we are getting ready for a First Alert Thursday. We'll talk about why we are now under the threat of severe weather coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
A packed house to talk about safety along Bethany Beach side of Route 1. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with DelDOT looking for solutions just south of the Indian River Inlet.
The agency hosted a public workshop tonight to review some ideas on how to make the 4-mile stretch between the Indian River Inlet Bridge and Bethany Beach safer for people on bikes.
That particular portion of Route 1 has seen its fair share of crashes, some of them even deadly. As CoastTV's Charles Reinert shows us, DelDOT is working on new plans so that hopefully everyone makes it home okay.
Biking along Route 1 is a common sight this time of year, and now DelDOT is looking to change the way you pedal around.
This is an opportunity for the public to come out and really have a chance to review what those proposed improvements would look like.
The state agency hosted a public workshop Wednesday night to show off their plans on how to make Route 1 north of Bethany Beach safer. That specific part of Coastal Highway has seen numerous crashes and deadly collisions with people on bikes. DelDOT C.R. McLeod says this stretch of the road has been on the state's radar for a while.
This is really a chance to look at improvements that can help address those issues and make sure that we are really accommodating pedestrian and bicycle traffic as safely as possible.
In the short term, DelDOT wants to add flashing signs and lights to help people cross the street on foot. Longer-term solutions include new bike paths, barriers, and speed limit reductions. Seth Hamid, founder of the Coalition for a Safer North Bethany, says he's seen how dangerous it can get, and he's hoping for changes sooner than later.
It's just going to save lives. There's nothing more important than that, right? And it doesn't matter whose life you save, whether it's somebody from Virginia or Maryland or Pennsylvania or Delaware. All lives are at risk here.
Some of those new flashing signs will be installed this fall, but some of the bigger ideas, like that new bike path, are still in the conceptual stage. It's all in an effort to make getting around safer and easier for everyone. There is an open public comment period on these proposed changes for the next 30 days, so if you couldn't make it out to the meeting on Wednesday night, you can still give DelDOT your input. I'm Charles Reinert in Bethany Beach, CoastTV News.
Looking ahead, DelDOT will be hosting an online Q&A session for this specific study. That's happening Monday, May 20th at 5 p.m. There will also be another public workshop in the works for this fall. According to DelDOT, this workshop will present the preferred biking alternatives to the community. And all of this takes us into the CoastTV poll. We want to know, what should be the focus for Route 1?
Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier tonight. It looks like the majority, that's safety, that's at 68% of the vote. Alternate routes, that's 29% of the vote. Just 3% of people who voted in our poll said easier access to businesses.
And safety has really led the way the entire evening, but if you still haven't voted and you would like to get involved, go to coasttv.com or use our CoastTV mobile app.
Now let's take a live look outside into Ocean City to check on the weather here. You can see the beach nice and quiet at nighttime, but earlier it was probably packed because it was a great beach day. Let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams to see if tomorrow will be a beach day.
The answer is no. That's it in a nutshell. Because you're going to have a chance to see some sunshine, but if you see a lot of sunshine tomorrow, that's actually a bad thing. I'll explain that in just a moment. First of all, our Irish Eyes camera in Lewis, we're at 77 degrees with winds out of the southwest at 4 miles per hour. We'll drop to 71 degrees by 1 o'clock, 66 degrees by 10 o'clock in the morning. The reason why tomorrow's going to be a no-go is because we're actually under the threat of severe weather. In fact, it covers all of the Delmarva Peninsula, and we're at level 2, which means we're watching out for at least a slight chance of severe weather. Scattered, short-lived, isolated, and intense storms are likely what we're talking about. I don't think we're talking about tornadoes unless it gets really sunny and heats up the atmosphere so that a tornado can form. That's why a lot of sunshine tomorrow, not a good thing, which is why you can't be totally solid on this thing. But we'll talk about the nuances of the forecast coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Mallory.
Thank you, Paul. 3 new Delaware bills aim to strengthen oversight of child care facilities and keep the children in their care safe and healthy. Under Senate Joint Resolution 7, the Delaware Department of Education would adopt an electronic licensing record system and registry of child care professionals. Senate Bill 294 would continue transferring the Office of Child Care Licensing to the Department of Education. Senate Bill 295 would require service letters to include statements from prior employers about any concerns they have about a job candidate working with children. All 3 bills were introduced by Senator Kyle Evans Gray today and have been assigned to the Senate Education Committee.
During the summertime, Rehoboth is packed with cars, with people, all looking to go to the beach. And the engineering group, the Rossi Group, is testing out a few new pedestrian safety and traffic calming projects on King Charles Avenue. This includes new crosswalks on Stokely Street and sidewalk bump outs on Newcastle Street. All of this in an effect to slow people down.
A lot of people walk, a lot of people use cars, and we're trying to make sure that there are safe opportunities for people to get places on foot to maybe alleviate some of the traffic. So it is all part of safety management and traffic management and trying to provide options for people to get to where they want to go without using a car.
Throughout the summer, the Rossi Group will be testing out these projects, and they want input from the community. If you scan the QR code that you see, they'll have them on the poles that you have out there on the road. That's an easy way to share your thoughts on the project and what could be added.
I'm Madeline Overturf. Here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. The endangered right whale has been spotted off the coast of Ocean City again, sparking another slow zone. Boaters are asked to go 10 knots or less until May 22nd. The Bethany Fenwick Area Chamber of Commerce has a new second location in Dagsboro. The chamber says it will be a visitor center and meeting space, and that spot was picked as it's a main thoroughfare for visitors heading to the coast. Are you interested in volunteering at the Salisbury Zoo? A docent training scheduled for Saturday has been canceled, but a new training is set for June 22nd from 9:30 to 4. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
Ocean City's proposed 2025 operating budget would cause the tax rate in town to decrease by 1 cent. But there is a catch. A 3% pay increase for all town employees is included into the budget for a cost of living adjustment. According to Ocean City Mayor Rick Meehan, the money will be coming from the general fund budget, which is property tax, some percentage of room tax, and other fees that are collected over the course of the year. One local in Ocean City thinks this increase is needed.
The cost of living down here is so high. Everything is as elevated from gas to restaurants.
The proposed 2025 budget is still under review. Town Council had its first reading this past Monday.
New tonight, the Biden administration paused a shipment of bombs to Israel amid concerns over their potential use in a ground operation in Rafah.
This while Palestinians in Gaza City tried to recover after an Israeli airstrike toppled buildings, injured dozens, and in Washington, Cheryl Hubbard is reporting.
The U.S. paused a planned shipment of 3,500 bombs to Israel amid concerns over their potential use in a ground operation in Rafah without a plan for the civilians sheltering there. One administration official told the Washington Post, quote, Israel should not launch a major ground operation in Rafah, where more than 1 million people are sheltering with nowhere else to go. An IDF spokesperson said Israel will not back down.
Either Hamas unconditionally surrenders, Jim, or we go in with military force. Now, I don't see any way that Hamas is actually going to surrender. So if you're expecting us to surrender our safety and security to Hamas because they're hiding behind their civilians, then that's an unreasonable expectation.
Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the shipment pause is an overstep by the U.S.
The delay of shipment of weapons to Israel is just another way of trying to tell an ally how to conduct the war.
How Israel is conducting the war against Hamas is a major point of contention. Protests have erupted on college campuses throughout the U.S., and on Wednesday, Republicans led a hearing on Capitol Hill over the concern of increasing anti-Semitism in K-12 schools. Only leaders from school districts and liberal cities were selected to speak at that hearing.
Our young students with ties to either Israel or Gaza, some deeply traumatized by the horror they see and hear, sit side by side in our Berkeley classrooms. They are friends.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Although the hearing was focused on anti-Semitism, school leaders did push back. The chancellor of New York City Public Schools urged Congress to take steps to, quote, bring us together to find solutions to fight hate beyond just holding hearings.
In other political news tonight, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia made a motion on the House floor on Wednesday that would have removed Speaker Mike Johnson from his position, but it was quickly struck down. In fact, Representative Greene was heavily booed by her own colleagues. Speaker Johnson and his allies easily voting down the attempt with bipartisan support. Representatives voted 359 to 43 to table Greene's motion. Delaware Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester was one of the many Democrats that voted to table that motion. And we have more news to get to this evening.
A family is lucky to be alive after a house fire in Caroline County, where it started and what we know about the damage.
The Food Bank of Delaware celebrating success stories, an emotional day for students graduating this trade program and launching careers in food service and logistics.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking for scattered showers kick in at noon and continuing at 5 o'clock for Cambridge. Temperatures 70s, then drop down to the 60s. Watching out for a chance of a lightning flash or two in Crisfield and rain throughout the entire day. We will be talking about our chances of severe weather for all of Delmarva in 60 seconds.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands with a hotel for any traveler you want to be. Like Quality Inn for the dad that gets every dollar and minute out of this family road trip.
The day is upon us!
Book at choicehotels.com.
Hello!
It'll be raining cats and dogs again. Time to waterproof with Gorilla.
Waterproof with Gorilla?
Gah!
Gorilla Waterproof Patch and Seal.
Of course.
Spray it, tape it, spread it, brush it to stop and prevent leaks. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Social Security and Medicare aren't just handed to us.
We've earned them.
Hour by hour.
Day by day.
Paycheck by paycheck.
They aren't plans.
They're a promise.
Made to every American. Every American.
And we're not gonna let anyone break it.
Break it.
Break it.
Neither will I.
And you can consider that a promise too. David Trone will stand up to Republicans looking to strip the safety net seniors depend on. And there's no backing down.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
We're bracing for the possibility of severe weather for tomorrow. We're going to keep a close eye on that so we have a first alert day to talk about. Our Tyndall's Casual Furniture in Ocean City, we're very calm right now with temps in the 70s. We'll drop to 68 by 2 o'clock, 67 by 3 o'clock. Generally speaking, we still have concerns for floods, possibility of flooding, but it's also connected to the high tides. Coastal flood advisory active for all of Sussex until 2 o'clock Thursday morning. Now, we're also watching out for the same concern for us for Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico until 7 o'clock in the morning for Thursday. Overall, it's not because of rain that's on the way, it's because of the water that's already existing. But we have some rain that's on the way we're going to keep a close eye on. It's actually coming out of the Tennessee Valley region, begin to swing in our general direction, combining with the movement of the cold front. We do have severe weather as a threat for us. We're at level 2 for us. Slight to scattered, short-lived scattered showers and thunderstorms for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. So when you take a look at our high refresh rapid HRR models, what we typically call it, we're looking for this cell to possibly plume for us by Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. That's going to push through, and then we'll have a couple of other quick developing showers, and they'll push on through. Now, this is what we really want. We want it to stay cloudy because that will cut off the energy supply for these storms and keep our tornadic possibilities low. We could still see a moderate chance of heavy rain, wind damage, and large hail, I'd say moderate to low as well. So the most southern portion of our viewing area, we see spotty showers, but we're seeing a lot of clearing that's happening for Friday morning. But the front should have pushed through all by then. But just that little bit of clearing with a low amount of heat energy will produce all this rain in such a short period of time. That's why that extra heat is so deadly. For the more northern portions of our viewing area, by 12 noon, we will hopefully stay cloudy, which will tap down the potential of rain. And then that'll continue to be the way for us as we go into, let's say, Friday. Once again, if we have the cloud cover staying thick, that works in our favor. If not, it's a problem. So for tonight, we're looking for 62 degrees, 71 for tomorrow, first alert stormy day. And then Friday, 56 degrees, much cooler and staying wet. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast.
A family and multiple pet dogs escaped a house fire in Hillsborough Tuesday night. The Maryland State Fire Marshal says it started inside a first-floor bathroom on Main Street. One firefighter was injured and taken to a local medical center for evaluation. The cause is still under investigation, but damages are estimated at $100,000.
There are a lot of things that can knock somebody off their path in life, and sometimes it can be hard to get back on track.
But a program that is run out of the Food Bank of Delaware is helping train people who are trying to do exactly that. Charlie, you, along with some help from our photographer, Ted Corriero, covered that story today.
We did, Mallory, and we focused on one woman from right here on the coast. A big round of applause for a small group of hard-working graduates. For Kiri Villela, it's emotional.
That's how I feel, accomplished, that I didn't give up on myself, and that, I didn't let anything take me away from what I was supposed to be focused on. So
Villela, who is from Rehoboth Beach, is one of 6 people who graduated Wednesday from the Culinary and Warehousing Logistics Training Program, which operates out of the Delaware Food Bank in Milford.
I just felt like everything I put in was noticed and recognized.
Everyone in this program has faced some kind of challenge: substance abuse, workplace injuries. For Villela, she's raising 2 children, 4 and 7, both with autism, but that didn't slow her down.
No matter how hard it got, no matter, it just was the right thing for me to do, being here and chasing my dreams. So
Villela actually got a little help in the form of a scholarship through the Chef Joey Schilling Memorial Foundation. Schilling was just 30 years old when he unexpectedly died in September of 2022 due to heart-related complications from a stem cell transplant. His father, John Schilling, now runs a foundation in his honor, a touching tribute that's making a real difference.
Oh, I think it makes them feel like they can now go out in the world and see that there are people supporting them, like our foundation.
For Villela, all that support paid off in the form of a job offer with Chesapeake in Maine. And for anybody else looking to follow in her footsteps, she offers this advice.
You got to embrace you and really push yourself, because if you're looking for validation from somebody else to give you that push, that motivation, it may not come at the time when you need it the most.
Betting on yourself, working hard, and even getting a helping hand where needed, it's a recipe for success that benefits the whole community. Still to come, bear with us. Warnings from Maryland's Department of Natural Resources after black bear sightings.
But first, hundreds of people attended a Latino forum in Dover. The critical issues discussed and how they impact the Latino community across Delaware.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Every day, Washington politicians let the border crisis continue and do nothing. They fail the American people. Open border Democrats and status quo Republicans are both to blame. We need common sense leaders with the guts to get it done.
Typical D.C. politicians play politics instead of solving the problem. As governor, we fought sanctuary cities. Enough is enough. Secure the border immediately. I'm Larry Hogan, and I approve this message. In the Senate, I'll fight to keep our communities safe.
Want to go for a spin?
Play the Big Spin Scratch-Off. You could win up to $50,000 instantly, or a chance to spin the Big Spin wheel for up to $250,000.
The Subaru car has been an awesome change. It is definitely something that's reliable, safe. Gateway Subaru had what I was looking for. The dealership was just wonderful to deal with. Gateway really nailed it, and you didn't feel pressured. They were more compassionate, willing to work with you. So Gateway provided me with the cross-check that I needed, and I'm very comfortable with. Walked out with the keys in the car the same day, and it's been running beautifully. And I love my Subaru.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
More than 200 people gathered at the Modern Maturity Center in Dover on Tuesday for the 2024 Latino Forum, hosted by the Delaware Hispanic Commission.
The forum attracted influential Latino community leaders, public officials, political candidates, and other stakeholders who engaged in discussions on critical issues that impact the Latino community across Delaware.
And our very own Telemundo Delmarva and Coast TV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman was the event MC.
This platform, this type of events really allow us to come together and learn and support and really get the knowledge that we need to make the right decisions.
The day featured 3 panel discussions on workforce development, education, and immigration.
A black bear was spotted today in the Brookland area of Washington, D.C., almost a year after another bear was seen in the same neighborhood. Pictures of this bear circulated quickly among neighbors. The Humane Rescue Alliance said it was checking the woods to make sure the bear was safe and away from the public. Maryland's Department of Natural Resources is helping too. Various agencies say they've received at least a dozen reports of bear sightings in the last month. Wildlife officials say people are more likely to see bears this time of year, even in D.C. Experts recommend backing away from a bear if you ever run across one.
Diabetics, listen up. The Food and Drug Administration reports more than 200 diabetics were injured by a malfunctioning insulin pump. The problem actually with the software that connects the T-Slim insulin pump to iPhones. A glitch in the code caused the app to crash and relaunch, which can drain the battery power sooner than expected. The FDA is now reporting that the technical issue led to 224 injuries. Thankfully, no deaths have been attributed to the problem. Coming up in sports, undefeated Mardella softball trying to lift the Bayside Trophy, but they'd have to take down a North Dorchester squad who's on a 5-game win streak.
And Mother's Day ideas and spending tips. How much money Americans plan to spend this year to show appreciation to their mother figures.
And no matter what you're planning on spending out on the golf course, you're going to need to bring a ringer if you're really that much of an enthusiast, because we're going to be watching out for a chance of scattered showers, particularly around lunchtime. I would say forget about it because we're looking for thunderstorms. Then again, I'm not a golfer.
We salute George McCarthy. George, originally from Jersey City, New Jersey, recently celebrated his 100th birthday in Lewis. During World War II, he served in Kunming, China, as part of the 14th Air Force stationed at a U.S. Army Air Corps base. His unit was instrumental in supporting Chinese troops against Japanese forces, a pivotal but less recognized aspect of the war. After returning home, George continued to participate in veteran activities, including wreath-laying ceremonies at the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can do all your favorite beach activities, like spikeball, whitewater rafting, shrimp boils, wade fishing, or hanging with the locals. You can say that again.
Check out the all-new, fully redesigned 24 Tacoma.
Or get low 3.99 APR for 72 months on a full-size hybrid Tundra.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Looking for fitness that fits your budget? Join Planet Fitness now through May 10th. Save big when you join the judgment-free zone for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. That's right. We've dropped our enrollment fee to just $1, so it's easy to start getting that big fitness energy. Never intimidated. Always free fitness training, equipment for every workout. And most clubs open 24 hours, so you can get in, get energized, and get going. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Hurry. Deal ends Friday, May 10th.
Is a kitchen remodel on your to-do list?
Paul Davis offers an easy 3-step kitchen refacing solution. Step 1, we bring the showroom to you. Step 2, we give you the exact price that day. Step 3, our certified installers complete it in days, not weeks.
A revitalized kitchen without the disruption.
At half the cost of a traditional kitchen remodel.
In the style and color you've always wanted. Call today to receive 20% off your new kitchen, plus a free trash can pullout or no payments until 2025.
Call Paul Davis today or visit our showroom.
Be Charmed by Lewis.
Visit our unique shops and restaurants.
Conversation Piece Jewelers, where every piece sparks a conversation. From engagements to milestone pieces that make a statement. Try us again for the first time.
Detox, sculpt, and renew at Naturally Well with lymphatic drainage treatments, infrared sauna pod, red light therapy, and spray tanning.
Sticky Rice Serving Small Plate Authentic Thai Tapas. Open for dine-in and carry-out. Located in Lewis Plaza Shopping Center.
Come explore.
Historic Lewis.
Make no mistake, America is being invaded. Biden's open border is flooding our cities with violent criminals and deadly drugs. Democrats put American families last, kicking our kids out of school to house illegals. The invasion must end. I'm Robin Ficker and I approve this message. I'm running for Senate to secure the border. I'll stand with Trump, finish the wall, and deport criminal illegals to save our country.
These adorable kittens, they need your help. Humane Animal Partners says it's currently caring for more than 120 kittens under 12 weeks old. The shelter says its high priority needs are miracle nipples and reusable nursing bottles, gram scales, litter bowls or litter boxes, bowls, cardboard scratchers, and kitten food. You can drop off donations during Humane Animal Partners business hours, or there are also Amazon wish list options.
Mother's Day is just around the corner, and if you haven't bought a gift yet or started planning, time's running out.
Get on it before you get in trouble. In tonight's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at some of the spending trends and has some creative ideas to help lower cost without losing sentimentality.
Sunday is Mother's Day, a day devoted to making the moms in our lives feel appreciated, and that might mean buying her something special. People plan to spend an average of $254 per person this holiday. That's a total spending of $33.5 billion, according to the National Retail Federation.
Consumers know that the real way to mom's heart is by making her feel extra special on this day.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says topping the list of gifts this year are flowers and greeting cards, followed by spending on a special outing like dinner or brunch. Other ideas include jewelry or electronics, such as a new phone, or perhaps some noise-canceling headphones. Another creative idea is splurging on an experience.
Some of the experiences we see consumers gravitating towards are a spa experience, maybe a cooking class.
Happy Mother's Day! But you don't have to empty your wallet to make the day memorable for mom. One way to keep the cost down is to do a fun activity with the family, like hike or plan a picnic. Cullen also recommends looking for deals and discounts to help keep costs down.
We are starting to see retailers advertise Mother's Day deals and promotions, and we know that even more will be out there as the day gets closer.
But remember, no matter what you do, quality time is what matters most. And that's priceless. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Mardella softball was hoping to keep their undefeated season alive and capture the Bayside crown today, but winners of 5 straight North Dorchester stood in their way. Both pitchers were grooving early on. Emily Cohey catches Cameron Dorr looking in the first. Bottom of the inning now, Warriors flashing the leather. Kinsley Peters pops up to Lexi Guy. Runner doubled off first, scoreless after 1. It would stay that way until the 4th when Ava Twilley uncorks one of her favorite rides, the carousel, because she wants to go all the way around the bases. A solo shot puts Mardell ahead. It's 1-0 Warriors. And they celebrate with their team in bottom four. North Dorchester puts the leadoff runner on. Again, it's Peter Segai and another double play turn out of the air by the Warriors shortstop. Top five, more Twilly. Runner on first, not too much longer. Line shot up the gap in left. Door in to score. Twilly aboard with a double after her second RBI of the night. Next batter, Carson Shockley. Chopper up the middle. Courtesy runner Cameron Larger gets on her horse, slides in ahead of the throw. It's 3-0. Twilly would come on in for relief of Adkins and then shut the door. A pair of strikeouts in the fifth and one more punch out in the seventh to seal it. Mardella wins it 4-0 over North Dorchester. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, somewhere to smile about.
At Coastal Comfort, we know there's no place like home. That's why we're committed to ensuring total comfort for a totally happy home. As a premier Carrier factory authorized dealer, we're dedicated to providing reliable service and the best savings. Like now, through the end of May, with purchase of a qualified Carrier system, you can instantly receive up to $1,900 off. You could also qualify for up to $2,000 in federal tax credit. Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hey Delmarva, get ready to save big at Preston Ford's Memorial Day sales event. SUVs cost less at Preston with over $6,000 in total savings. And don't miss out on 1.9% financing for 72 months on America's best-selling truck, the 2023 Ford F-150. We have over 800 Ford models ready to be driven home today. Shop with us online at and we'll deliver it to your driveway today. Be a part of all the excitement going on right now during the Memorial Day sales event at Preston Ford. Cars cost less in Preston.
Some people will stop at nothing to get your stuff. Get solid security and protect yourself from theft, fire, and accidents with American-made Rhino at Southern States in Milford. Experience peace of mind with financing available when you buy local from the only Rhino dealer on Delmarva. They'll deliver and set it up for you too. Ask about Rhino's Thank You for Your Service rebate program. Protect your stuff with Rhino. Everything else is just storage. Securing Delmarva one safe at a time. Southern States of Milford.
The day of the bridge collapse, my phone just started ringing. The ship struck the bridge. The Dolly was the last ship I was on. It was a punch in the gut. Losing lives is a tragedy, but losing our livelihoods was a disaster. It was a direct hit to longshoremen because if we don't have vessels, we do not have work. Your pay just stopped overnight. We're in trouble. I saw David Trone on the news.
We got to bring these dollars home.
Yes.
And we got to make sure that union labor builds this bridge. We got to keep thinking about those that have lost wages.
That's right.
Longshoremen are small businessmen. They still got mortgages to meet, food to put on the table. So we need an effort not to let that slip through the cracks.
1,000%. To have an advocate speaking loud and speaking proud is David Trone for me.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Our Bay Health camera in Dover at 74 will drop to 64 by 3 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. We do have the severe threat for tomorrow. We're going to be at least a level 2, so we'll continue to track it. And be sure you download our latest app. Coastal flood advisory in effect for Sussex, as well as all of our other counties, Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico. Our Ocean City re-index numbers. Now we're looking at staying at about a 5, and then we'll go back up to an 8 by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. And if you want to keep up with the forecast, you can call our line at 443-880-9100, sponsored by Baird, Mandalas, Bruxted, and Federico. And here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling exclusive 10-day forecast. We are calling for a first alert day on Thursday. Now, it's going to be spotty, fast developing, fast in, fast out, but they could be a bit volatile, so we're going to continue to track that for you. Saturday, it's going to be a much cooler but clammier and cold day, and then we'll warm up eventually going into next week. Mother's Day, a bit soggy and 63 degrees, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an all-day rain thing, but pretty close to it when you are going to have the restaurants open. So have a plan B.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.